Good morning. It's another beautiful day. Sorry, my hair is super funky. Oh well. Anyhow, I was going to make a really quick recording to remind you to always be true to yourself, never compromise your values or your worth, and don't let other people contradict or tell you how to be or how to live your life. I think a lot of us do that. We we relinquish our power in order to appease everyone else, in order to be what everyone else wants you to be, right? And it takes so much energy. It just takes so much energy, and you're perfectly fine just the way you are. I mean, I think we all have issues. We all, whether you care to admit to it or not, you know, but I feel like you can't really admit to it unless you're aware of it, you know? And I think INFJs are introverted people, or people who can relate to an INFJ personality, are constantly seeking and striving to refine ourselves in order to become healthy, holistic human beings. So, just because nobody else understands your journey or understands who you are, doesn't mean that that's flawed or wrong. And I was watching Chappelle, the comedian, and he was saying something about, like, people think that you're crazy, but are you crazy, or are you just in a really, really, like, messed up environment? So, if the environment is messed up and the people around you um, are kind of stuck in a certain frame of consciousness, they won't be able to see clearly, right? And I think we spend so much time reflecting, you know, and I think that's why, like, a lot of people get defensive, because we can see their bullshit. And when we call them on their bullshit, they just don't want to deal with it. We become like a threat. They're like, oh man, this person can see through my facade. They can see through my mask, and they can see my issues, and I don't want to deal with them. So I'm going to attack them and make them feel like they're crazy. So who's really crazy? I mean, seriously, think about it. We spend so much of our time self-reflecting and refining, and getting to core roots of our issues so that we can change. And then we spend a lot of time, like, transmuting things as well. So yeah, I know we have a tendency to doubt ourselves a lot, but I think that doubt stems from trying to be accepted by really unhealthy, imbalanced individuals in a very unhealthy, imbalanced environment. So, yeah, reminder to you, you're doing just fine. You are beautiful just the way you are, and there's nothing you really need to change. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. And I've learned, like, because I'm kind of outspoken and I'm pretty expressive. Some introverts are really, really, like, introverted, like they don't express themselves, and they're not as open, and I am. And so the few individuals that I encounter, they can't handle my truth, which is basically what I see in them. And so they get defensive. I mean, that's what they do, right? I mean, when somebody is, what is that? Kind of revealing aspects of yourself that you're ashamed of, or you've been trying to hide, it's threatening. But I mean, that's who I am, and everybody has a role and a function in this whole schematic of things, and it is what it is. But like I said, don't stop being yourself. Don't doubt yourself. I think you and everyone else is doing the best that they can at their capacity to do so, or their ability to do so. And I think it has a lot to do with, like, your level of awareness and mindfulness, and how much inner work you've done. Like, it's so funny. So I've been kind of, like, looking back at my life, and I notice, like, a lot of people are, like, have a tendency to say, like, oh, you know everything, or you always have an answer to everything. It's because I spend so much time reflecting. And a lot of people I know don't, they spend a lot of time like immersed in distractions and hobbies and like superficial connections and stuff. And that's not bad, but it definitely keeps you from, making progress on the path, however you want to like define that, But yeah, we do a lot of self-reflection, a lot of inner work, a lot of stuff. And like I said in my previous videos, we've kind of like relinquished a lot of external distractions in order to do this, And so, and not many people, I think, commit that kind of like time to that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's why we can kind of see things that most people miss, or we can call people out on their bullshit, because we can see it very clearly because we do the work. We do the work. Yeah, so, yep. Anyways, hoping you are having a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. If you learned something, that's great. If you didn't, that's great too. I don't think there's any right or wrong or good or bad. It just is, You just have a bunch of reactions or responses to your actions and choices, and your choices are basically based on your level of consciousness, awareness, and mindfulness. So if you are a really conscious and aware and mindful person, then you will understand why things unfold the way they do. And if you are not conscious, then you'll probably not understand why things are unfolding the way they are, and you'll probably fight it, because we have a tendency to like go into fight or flight mode. I don't think INFJs, we might fight a little, but we definitely don't flight. Like, we'll stand our ground and work through things no matter how difficult it's perceived to be, like, I think we're really, really brave people, to be honest. People think that we're meek and we're pushovers, but we can see why things are unfolding the way they are, and we kind of move through it as graciously as possible. You know what I mean? We don't really fight it or flight it like other people. They have to resort to really, really primitive ways of being in order to attack you, in order to prove their point. I don't have a point to prove, I'm really open to sharing and growing with someone, I don't have to like fight with you. But if you need to fight, then that just tells me where you're at, I don't know. Anyhow, blessings to one and all. Amen.